who you are. Already know who you are. You're a closer. You're making decent money. You can close some deals, but not the majority. You have the reps. You know the basics, but you're stuck, and you have enough ownership to know that it is a you thing. You could rewatch your calls and name the exact minute the prospect took control and hear yourself fold on the recording. You just don't know how to fix it. So what do? You get resourceful. You're pasting your transcripts into ChatGPT at midnight asking, where'd I fuck this up, right? You're staying up late watching outdated Jeremy Miner or Hormozi sales videos on YouTube, hoping something clicks. Maybe you're even doom scrolling Instagram Reels, watching these so-called sales coaches with their crazy reframes, taking mental notes, thinking that counts as being productive. But you and I know it. In the heat of the moment, it really isn't. And here's the part nobody talks about. It's not just the numbers. It's the real comparison that's eating you alive. You see these people online posting 40K months and you're still at 10, 12K, grinding, telling yourself you're about to break through. You've sold your friends, your family, maybe even a significant other on this version of you. The producer, the closer, the person that's got it all figured out. But when that pay stub hits every single month, the bank account doesn't back up that story, at least to the level that you know it could. You're not just losing deals. You're losing that internal argument with yourself about who you are. And that, my friend, is what I'm going to fix for you. You can ChatGPT the diagnosis and try to find the cure, or you can go get the fucking medicine from the doctor. After being in this industry for the past 5 years now, I might not have my PhD, but I can definitely tell you the exact process on where you're losing deals and how to fix it. Stay with me for the next few minutes and I'll show you exactly how we're going to close that gap between where you are and really where you want to be. And here's the thing, bro. Nobody wants to admit it. The script style selling that worked 3 years ago does not work anymore. The prospects you're talking to are smarter. They've seen every reframe. You aren't the first company they've worked with, and hell, I might not even be the first sales coach that you might buy from. But unlike you, your prospects don't have that same growth mindset that brought you here. They're burned, skeptical, and the second they smell a trained closer on the other end of the phone, they shut down completely. Dominant with low trust, the dream combo. Does that sound familiar? What's the price? Tell me about the program. Cut the fucking fluff. That's who you're losing deals to right now. And if you're still running a current situation versus desired situation frame, that person is gonna walk you like a dog every single time. Now you can be that person that complains, and even with organic presence, you and I both know it's no longer layups. The closers who are pulling 30, 40, 50K months, most of them don't even post. They're sitting on a private Instagram with 1,200 followers, actively living the life that everyone else is acting like they have. And I know this because I train them. And the difference isn't that they know more scripts than you or a better reframe. It's that they have a genuine, authoritative selling style, and that is exactly what I'm going to install for you. Now look, quick on me, because I know you don't care about my life story. You only care whether I can actually get you the result. I've been in the game a while. I got BizOpt, dropped 10K on an agency program, fresh out of a $50,000 college degree. It didn't do anything for me. And yeah, I had a couple of decent months, but never really had the cash flow to scale the agency, which put me in the hole fast. That pride of who I sold everyone else on got checked quick, and luckily, there was a guy in that community that was doing just under 100K a month, and he was hiring closers. I knew nothing about this shit, but I just took the role anyway because I was like desperate. Early on, I just won by volume. Took a lot of calls, made a ton of offers, but all I could close were these layup deals that barely gave me any pushback, maybe like one or two small objections. But every time I talked to a real whale client, they would always be direct and skeptical from the jump. Start firing objections at me by minute 4, and I would always fold, go into pitch mode on how we're different, start over-explaining, lose the frame, and I would watch what would be 2 to 3K in my pocket disappear from me every fucking time. And you know what I did? You think I internalized that? No. I externalized it. I would always come off that call convinced it was unclosable. But every time I externalized, my boss would call me within the hour, pull up the recording, walk me through 5 separate moments I let it slip, show me exactly how he would turn the whole thing around and what was costing me by not being more authoritative in leading that person. And something clicked that no course or script had ever given me. Blaming the leads and losing was unacceptable. It creates an intrinsic value to win. And if I came off a call with an excuse, he'd pull up the recording, reframe every single one of my objections, showing me it was not the lead, it was me every time. Losing wasn't in deals. Losing was me choosing comfort over challenging myself because I lacked the conviction and authority to hold the frame when it actually fucking mattered. And from that point on, I became obsessed with one thing: owning every frame on every call in any freaking market, B2B or B2C. And when I mastered that, 20K months became 30K months. Then I got poached, got on a better offer, then another one. And that same process has scaled with me everywhere I've taken it. And to this day, it's what I've used to consult over 150 high-ticket businesses online and train over 500 individual sales reps. I say this with full confidence. There is nobody, and I mean nobody, in the high-ticket sales space with a better resume than me. They might have more followers, they might post more content, it does not matter. Most of those guys are my friends, respectfully. Their resume cannot compete with mine. And when there's a lot of options in the game, you must place your bet on the person with the biggest resume, because that is what's going to actually increase the likelihood of success more than anything else. And I'll say this ahead of time if you haven't already picked up on it. This ain't for beginners. If you're brand new, this is too advanced. This will not serve you at the highest level. This is for the people who are already in the game, who know they're leaving money on the table because their own skill and they're ready to actually fix it. So this is exactly how it works. The first 30 days, we're pulling up your calls together. I'm going to show you in real time exactly where you're losing deals and exactly what needs to change, and that's one-on-one. Most closers open a call by matching their prospect's energy, asking for permission to ask questions and share a perspective with you, aka letting the prospect who booked a call with you set the tempo for your call. That's the first place you lose. And in the first 30 seconds, I'm going to teach you how to walk on every single call the way a surgeon walks into the room. You're not there to impress them. You're not there to befriend them. You're there because you have something they need and you already know it. That certainty, that internal belief before a single word about the offer comes out is what makes a D-type prospect lean in instead of shut down. And that conviction to be willing to detach and lose the deal if your process cannot be followed is what we are going to master. You're going to stop waiting for permission to lead and you're going to start watching your confidence follow right behind it. Once that foundation is locked in, you're confronting, you're labeling, you're holding people accountable through the call and tie them down with the authoritative selling style. That's when we're just going to rip the whole script entirely. What? And this is where it gets fun. We're going to build the version of you that's not me. And here's an example of what I mean. Person in the Tim check right before price drop says I'm a 9. You challenge them and say, okay, good, man, 10 scare me, haha, but what's the small gap that feel like you might not have been covering you that's making you a 10? They push back and say it's really going to come down to price. This is where the authoritative scriptless selling is going to kick in. Of course, man, like price aside, for example, like let's just say there's a box right here, got a little box. I tell you this box costs 30 grand for the box. What are you going to say? Here's the box. No thanks. What if I opened it and when I do, there's some Ferrari keys inside? Ooh, 488. You'd find a way to come up with the 30K, wouldn't you? You'd be calling your bank, asking for a loan, calling your brother, maybe even working a few extra nights on that pole. You know what I'm saying? Joking, of course. But what if that same box, same price, I opened it up and it was Toyota keys? What changed for you? And that is how you set up a reframe without saying, well, it's about price, but can I share a perspective with you? What's the cost of not doing anything? A rich person is going to look at you like, dude, what the fuck are you saying to me? Trust me, I know this because I've closed guys that are doing $4 million a month with my current B2B offer, which is managing their sales team. And that is just one little example that I can make up on the fly. When you can reframe a box with humor, with scriptless selling, and you stop sounding like every other closer and start sounding like a person that they fuck with and will buy from, that is what's going to get you more deals, and that's what we're going to build from day 30 to day 60. Then there's going to come a time when you're crushing it and you're in this flow state, but you're going to hit a ceiling. That's where I'm going to meet you and help you with your offer progression. This is where the coaching becomes more consulting. You have the skill now, and from here the objective is simple. Keep consistently raising the bar until you max out your potential where you're at. I'll get you on a bigger, more competitive offer, and then you set the new standard every single month. That is exactly where I step in with the network. I've placed closers on 7- and 8-figure offers, including that client that I mentioned earlier doing $4 million a month. And disclaimer, if your current offer, and you're watching this right now, doesn't have the OTE to get you there, I can get you somewhere that does, just as long as your skill set can match the OTE. And I'll be straight with you, unlike everybody else in this game, I'm going to make you 0 income claims. I can't promise you by watching this fucking video you have results guaranteed, because your effort is the variable that I don't control. What I can promise you is that the network is real and I will open that door for you. If you put in the time and you have the skills, I will happily roll that freaking red carpet open for you. And phase 3 is honestly the best part of this whole thing, because it's basically resetting you at the bottom of the totem pole with a completely different skill set. So you get to step back into that competitive environment with a whole new level you never had before. And I want to note, if you're on a shitty offer right now, we just get you off it. I have all the connections in the industry to make that happen. So as long as you're presentable and you can shoot a Loom video, getting you hired is not going to be a problem. And to be honest, if you can't look presentable on a Loom video, we probably have bigger things to worry about. Now, transparently, for the sake of this video, most of you have either bounced by now or potentially applied. I could sit here and value dump 1,000,000 testimonials at you right now, but you and I both know it does not move the needle. Seeing other people succeed does nothing to you. It's cool for a second. Oh, wow, I can't believe that guy made it. Great. But you have no sentimental value. You have nothing to them. So it doesn't really change your decision. If this offer ends up being something that you're seriously aligned with, and for some reason you have skepticism because maybe you're coming from cold traffic and you haven't really been following me and there's a little bit of trust, I would much rather send over personalized testimonials from people that we've helped in your exact same position, or I have students who'd happily hop on a quick call with you if you're 2 feet in. But once again, the truth is, you and I both know it, when someone says, I need to talk to somebody first, that's just a trust objection. And how can you expect a person that's supposed to be teaching you sales to buckle on a trust objection? I want you to feel nervous when you invest. I want you to have that eerie feeling, because pressure is a privilege and it's one of my core values. If you trust the resume, if you trust the process and the way that I just explained this to you, that's all you need to take the next step, which isn't throwing your credit card at me. Yeah. So here's what you need to do next. There's an application below. Fill it out. It's not long, but it matters because we actually read every single one. There are qualifiers in the form. So if you qualify, my head of sales or a member of my team is going to reach out. Make sure that you had that conversation, because you're not buying any other way. Even if you're a lay down deal coming off my organic and you're like, look, dude, I'm already ready to purchase, We appreciate that, and it's awesome to whatever framing got you to that point. But to be clear, we're still going to vet you because, like I said, we care about you being the right person for this, even if you're a lay down. So please, please, please respect our buying process here and how it works. Also, I want you to go through the form with some enthusiasm and understand that we're actively judging you just as much as you're judging us. This has to be a good fit for both parties because ideally, this is a long, prosperous relationship for both you and us. If you're the right person, we'll get you started fast. If you're not ready yet, we'll tell you that too. Either way, you'll know exactly where you stand. Apply below, and we'll talk soon. If you click on this video,